What is up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Live Locks here on Scores and Odds. If you haven't already checked out Scores and Odds, you're just making bad life choices. Just go on over there, sign up. We have this nice little prop shopping tool. Tells you the best line, what RG projections have, and where to find the best line for both sides, which sides, all the main sites out there. You got picks from me, from Meansy every single day. The Dean Shavelson is sometimes on there. Luch, all of your favorites over at RG, all of the best in the business here. So go, just sign up. And if you haven't already done so, Grant's Action Lounge is going to premium soon. So go to scoresandodds.com/Discord. Get on into the Discord and get your free picks. Every pick I make on this show is right up in here. Look at that. Boom. Really simple. All these bets right here on the screen. And I'm just going through every bet that I have bet each day. Granted, today I have not bet these yet. I'm on a reservation. Apparently can't legally bet here, even though it's a Harrah's casino and they advertise there's sportsbook everywhere, but you have to drive a mile into town in order to bet, which I do not understand laws and regulations, but who cares? I am joined today by the now richer this week, Daniel Shavelson. How you doing there, Daniel?
I'm doing all right, by the way. I should mention I caught a bit of the show yesterday. I was watching it live, and then I was in the Discord channel, and you had dropped live. I think some news kind of may have broke. I'm not really certain exactly that time, but you dropped in the in the Discord Levine over 25.5 points. He was even money in the DK Sportsbook, and people pounced on that. And I said I would smash this, put the arrow up, and people smashed it. And Lean turns out he smashed last night as well too.
Yeah, what was that? 38 points.
It was a lot. I don't know where the exact number is, but like that's the fun stuff when like you get the chance for the hit all the alts. Obviously you're not going to hit 500. You're not going to buy 500, bet 500 on your alts, but you just got to catch a couple where you just like smash every single one, and that makes up for all those L's, and that's good times for sure. And hey, shout out to us on Wednesday when we were, I was in rare form on Wednesday, just screaming. I was like, look, pounding the table for Dinwiddie and Brunson. I said bet them both. Good chance. Like you're basically not going to lose them both, and good chance you win them both. And some alts hit there as well, I believe.
All the alts hit for Brunson. Dinwiddie? All the alts hit for, I believe, Brunson. Dinwiddie hit all but one of them. So yeah, I ended up. I was talking to you a little bit. I was driving from Palm Springs to Arizona to make sure I got all my bets in. I was going in and out of reservations the entire way, so it stopped letting me. I'm like, all right, wait 5 minutes. Hopefully I can get these in, and I happened to get them in. So, you know what? It turned out pretty darn well for me. Sorry I didn't give enough winners away on Wednesday on the show. But yesterday we did pretty well. I think we won 2.5 units here. So sitting at plus 10,700 on the month, sitting at a 6.29% ROI on the month on this show. So things are going pretty well, and not a ton of lines out today. So this might be a quicker show. I have a whole lot of weird like blocks and over 1.5 assists and over under 1.5 turnovers, just random bets like that. So you ready to dive on in?
Yeah, by the way, the reason, just to throw this out, the reason why I mentioned the Wednesday thing and why, it wasn't like to pat myself in the back, pat us in the back. That wasn't the point. The point was like some days you have more conviction than others. Some days you feel really, really good about stuff. And that was Wednesday. Today, as of right now, with the information we have, and a lot of it's just sort of dicey and up in the air, I don't have that conviction. I just want to throw that out there. So, maybe I'm tempering my thought as of right now. We'll see. Of course, we're 5 hours until the very first game goes, and lots of stuff's going to drop into the season, tank zone, all that kind of stuff. But just want to get that out there. That felt really good about Wednesday. Today, I want to hear what you have. Actually, I'm really curious to hear what your bets are, because there's a lot of questionable things, and some teams just don't have any lines for that. But I want to dive in and see what you're going to throw at me.
Yeah, so we'll just start with the first game, Utah going up against Charlotte. One of my favorite bets on the board that I've been just trying to figure out what's going on here is Miles Bridges under 1.5 turnovers, plus 165 over at Caesars, who is notoriously bad at turnover props. Let me read you his game log. 1 turnover, 3, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 5, 1, 3, 0. Like, he's hitting this at a pretty massive clip recently, and I'm getting plus 165 odds. I know it's going up against Utah. I know he averages about, I think, a little over 2 on the season, but he's not nearly as involved as he was before. I just don't understand the line just based on what he's been doing. I mean, it's not, I mean, maybe they think Ball or Rozier, someone's going to be out in this game. I don't know. I don't get it, but I love this one at plus 165. And then Donovan Mitchell.
Plus 165 to get 2, you're saying? He's got to get 2 turnovers plus 165?
No, I got the under plus 160, under 1.5 at plus.
His per 36 for the year is 1.9 for the record. 1.9 turnovers per game.
Yeah, which would make sense why the line's at plus 165, like that pretty heavily. That decently correlates at a 1.9 turnover per game. But recently, he's just not turning the ball over. He's not doing as much on the offensive end. He's not facilitating much. So the turnovers down recently. I think that trend continues. So getting this line at plus 1 is huge.
By the way, Grant, your internet. I thought you got 5-star status you're at right now. Your Wi-Fi is a little funky.
Yeah, no, I have.
It's not your fault, but
yeah. So I have premium internet. I've actually got pretty decent stuff. I didn't have any hiccups yesterday. I don't know what's going on today, but yeah, you don't like from the Utah game. I also bet the under on 4.5 3-pointers, and I found out means he's on the over of 4.5 3-pointers. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see who ends up winning one.
I think we can see a big rebounding game tonight from Gobert. I know the number is pretty big, but he had 20 boards earlier in the season against this team. The line's at 14.5, I believe. You're actually getting plus juice. I saw it on FanDuel at like plus 118 last I saw. Might have changed. Let's see. Has that changed? It did change, I guess. Let's say I made this up. Yeah. So it's now minus 110. I think it was plus like a half hour ago. I was just looking at it.
You can still get it plus 105 if you're in Colorado at Maxim Bet. Yeah, now it's sitting at minus 110. And I mean, you can get minus 105 still at Bet Rivers. I don't mind it at minus 105 at Bet Rivers, at Barstool, Twin Spires, whichever one you have in your state. But it's not a bad line.
You also get the added value, the chance of Whiteside being out, like we've seen before. When Whiteside is out, Gobert's minutes get extended even more. He can play 36, 37 minutes or so. And Azubuike, another one of their bigs, is out. So there's a chance that you get a Whiteside scenario being out and Azubuike is out. And then Gobert does get more minutes. Again, and then I think that's fine as is. Like, he should play like 32, 33 standard. But I think we got 35, 36 on the table. And it's a nice rebounding matchup. So I think also for alts or just general numbers, like as far as like what I like today, this is one of my favorite games. I like Mitchell to just have a monster day. I think Mitchell's going to put over, he's got a chance to put up 40. Like, that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I might be on the wrong side. We'll see. But I ended up adding Gobert over 14.5 rebounds. I do like that bet. You talk me into it, Dean. You'll talk me into things. Let's move on to the next game. We got Washington going up against Detroit. I have a few bets. Sadiq bet over 16.5 points, 17, 17, 27 shot attempts over his last 4. I actually wrote this one up. And 25, 20, and 51 and 13 points over his last 4 games. So he's been pretty solid recently. Line setting at minus 115 over at DK. I have the under on his rebounds. He's hit the under in 3 of the last 5. And he's sitting at plus 140. And then Isaiah Stewart over 17.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I assume that he'll get a little bit extra run with Porzingis on the other side. I think he actually grades out pretty well going up against him. Double-digit rebounds in each of the last 4 games at 8+ points. That's 17.5 over right there. Might also pop in an assist or 2. So, yeah, Stewart, I think, is a pretty solid over on his points, rebounds, assists. I don't know if I have anything. Cade Cunningham over 32.5 points, rebounds, assists. I think that's all getting at minus 110 over at Caesars. But that's pretty much it for this game. Hachimura, I guess I have over 1.5 assists. I've been hitting that recently. It's sitting at plus 165. Like, it shouldn't be plus 165. It should be plus 120. I know they doesn't hit a huge rate, but the minutes have been pretty decent. He's hitting 2 of the last 5 games. I think that's just a line that's a little bit off.
Yeah, by the way, Detroit's been like resting guys down the stretch. They've talked about doing that, so maybe something happens. We'll see. Stay tuned on that. But as of right now, the only one that I see that's resting or not playing is Livers. Diallo, I think, basically is out for a while, and Frank Jackson's back. So unless somebody rests, we might see like an 11-man Detroit rotation, like that kind of thing. Just sort of throwing that out there. Kuzma is.
Cade has for some reason been playing a ton of minutes recently. I mean, Stewart's not going to get over 30 minutes regardless, but he may get a few extra minutes of running this. Bay, he's kind of going to get his minutes unless they rest him. And if Grant or Cunningham ends up getting, or Bay ends up getting rested in this one, if we get that news, then my Cunningham and Bay or Bay overs are looking good.
I like the Cunningham over. I can see him smashing here. Kuzma out again. Like he might be. Who knows if he's done for the year? We'll see.
I think I might have alluded to that he's probably not going to play again, but I could be wrong.
It wouldn't surprise. Like, what's the point? And it is worth noting again. I don't know what you can do with it now, but Porzingis, it's a back-to-back. We did see him playing a back-to-back not too long ago, but what is the motivation, right? And we know he's got an injury fragility history. Gafford also is doubtful. So Washington, like I like that stew, the beef stew stuff you're talking about, because Washington's gonna be thin as far as bigs on the inside. If nothing else, they're without Gafford. I know Porzingis essentially is playing the 5 these days, but they are thin inside, and maybe they temper those Porzingis minutes as well, because why would they push them this evening?
Yep, pretty much right there with you. Let's move on to the next game. We got Golden State going up against Atlanta. I got a few bets in this one. I think 2 of them. I have Klay Thompson under 3.5 rebounds. He's hit the under in 3 straight games, then 4, 6, 3, 5, 6, 3. So, I mean, this is over a 50% bet in my opinion. And we're getting at plus 105 of odds, I believe, over on Fox Bet. No, on Bet Rivers. It's saying at plus 105. I think that's solid. And then Capella, I mean, I know that like Golden State doesn't have a ton of size and they don't really need Capella that much. I know his minutes can be in flux recently. Only had 18 minutes in the last one, but prior to that, sitting at 27 to 30 minutes. And I just think that he ends up getting there in terms of, was that supposed to be points? No, I think it's rebounds.
We got a projected for 28 minutes, by the way, for the record, which that's about right. That's that's kind of where it should be, I think.
Yeah, Capella minus 110 on FanDuel and on Fox Bet. Not my favorite bet on the board, but it does offer some positive ROI. But I do like Klay under 3.5 rebounds quite a bit, sitting at plus odds. And then Wiggins over 4.5 rebounds, I think, is pretty solid. I mean, do you think
where does Golden State feel like where they're at right now, right? So obviously they're not going to catch Phoenix. They're likely not going to get caught by Utah. Utah's 3 games behind them. They're in the 3. They're 2 games behind Memphis. Memphis just lost Ja, but Memphis is still really good without Ja, and Golden State's without Curry. I guess I'm kind of making the point that maybe Golden State's is let's just get to the playoffs and hopefully we're healthy then, and maybe they don't push their guys too hard because they're kind of sort of where they're at. It's possible they can shuffle, but most likely not.
Yeah, people asking in chat can't find turnover props. I mean, they're saying maybe it's different by state. I have no idea if it's different by state, but I just click on NBA, go to player props, and then you go all the way to the right there, turnovers, and boom, you got everything over there. And then Caesars, it's all the way at the bottom once you click on the game. Caesars, terrible interface, but very profitable website, so I'm willing to deal with it every single time. But yeah, those are the 2 bets I have, or 3 bets I have for Golden State again, with plus 105 on the over of 4.5 rebounds. He's had 3, 8, 8, and 6 over those last 3 games, 4 games. I mean, so not a bad bet. You got anything else?
I don't have a good read in this game.
All right, moving on to the next one. We got Dallas versus Minnesota. Cat is currently questionable, so almost no bets no props out for the Minnesota side of things. I do over on the Dallas side of things. I have Bullock under 3.5 rebounds, sitting at plus 115. I have it at 50% chance of hitting, so projected 7.5% ROI. Luka over 8.5 assists. I know he won that arrogant like every single night, and then he dropped this. Now he's been getting dimes at a much higher rate recently. We look at his game log, 10-3, 10-9, 8. So he's been dishing the ball out a whole lot more. Fast matchup going up against Minnesota, the fastest team since the All-Star break. I still think they are. Dean, I think you can confirm it or not, but just going to be more possession. So I'm taking the over assists.
You're asking about the pace of Minnesota?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're still number one since the All-Star break.
Yeah. I mean, they're fastest in all of basketball for the entire season. If you want last 15 games, they're the fastest in basketball, just ahead of San Antonio. Basically anywhere you want to hit the stop point, last 10 games or whatever, they are still the fastest. I was just curious, if you think, do you think Luka's actually, how serious is his injury? Because he's had 3 games in a row where he hasn't he had one where he scored a bunch.
They're not going to play him unless he's fully healthy.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at as well too. I assume he's fine. They are they're jockeying they're jockeying for home court with Utah. They're very likely to be the 4 and the 5. You're just not sure who's going to be which one. So they have motivation. It's kind of the point. In theory, you'd think they would want home court. So motivation to push a little bit.
Yeah, and just to fully separate themselves from the playing game. I think it's unlikely that they end up in the playing game, but still possible.
By the way, the interesting thing is that we have the Mavericks, who are the slowest team. You mentioned Memphis being the fastest. The Mavericks are the slowest. So, I mean, this is the matchup where they get the most up and pace potential. So, more possessions for Luka, obviously. So, I think it's pretty interesting. You talk about Cat. I assume he's going to play. He's been playing through that arm. I imagine he's going to give it a go. And Minnesota, again, they are motivated to get out of that 7 spot. So you think they would want to, jump on Denver. Denver, they're just one game behind them. So I assume Minnesota's going to push and play their guys. So this is a game where I think both teams are motivated more than other games.
Yep. And I mean, again, if Dallas ends up winning this game, that adds a full game because, again, Minnesota's in the playing spot right now. Again, unlikely that Dallas ends up down unless they go on a real losing streak and Minnesota crushes. But yeah, definitely some stuff needed for that one.
Was that housekeeping, by the way?
Yes, that was housekeeping. They always come whenever I'm on a podcast. They hear me talking. They're like, "Hey, let's go see if we can clean this room."
He just went live. Let's go.
Yep. Moving on to the next game, we got New York going up against Miami. I don't know if I have anything in this game. I mean, obviously Miami Butler is questionable. I think PJ Tucker and Robinson are both questionable. I could be wrong. It could be probable. So there's not a ton of lines out for this one. Randall is questionable, so there's nothing
out there. Yeah, because Mitchell and Robinson are both questionable. For what it's worth, by the way, if people want to know if they're we saw a tweet. I was reading in some of the stuff behind the scenes. Randall and Mitchell are game time decision for what it's worth. Barrett, Sims, Toppin, Burks, Fournier, they were wearing the starter blue uniforms. So, and multiple beats are basically talking about it's unlikely Randall's going to play. We'll see. Nothing official, but Randall, and that's another one. It's in theory probably should be shutdown season. Why not?
Yeah.
And just New York's. I don't know if they're mathematically limited, but come on, it's over.
Yeah.
And Miami, what are you going to do? Butler, Hero, Robinson, Tucker, Martin, all questionable. I got nothing to say right now. I have no idea.
Yep. We're moving on to the next game. We got Houston going up against Portland. Not a great game. I don't think a ton of lines are out because we don't have information on Hart. So nothing here.
No. Hart's out. Hart's not playing.
Is Hart officially out?
Yeah, dude. Oh man, yeah. The Tankathon is full.
What was I thinking?
Grant, this game. First of all, by the way, this game is going to be run back tomorrow night. So it's a doubleheader in Portland. This is the front half. They run it back Saturday as well. The Houston Rockets, one of the worst teams in all of basketball. Actually, record-wise, the worst team in all of basketball, Grant, right? Worst. They're number 1 in the Tankathon by 2 games, 1.5 if you want to get technical. They are 3-point favorites in Portland. How bad is Portland? Good Lord.
I mean, they literally miss it. They traded away their second best player, and they're without their top 3 players.
I mean,
then trade away Powell. They trade of their team, and they're just working with trash. Josh Hart, Lillard not playing, Simon who's not playing, Nurse who's not playing. They're just decimated. So yeah, the only bet I have here is Eubanks over 1.5 assists. We have him projected for over 2 by RG projections. Do have to pay a decent amount of juice at -150, but it's a solid overall bet. But we're not going to have anything else. This is just a trash game here. Let's move on to an actual decent.
I just want to say, I think like there's a chance. I don't know what they're going to do with like Wood and the Şengün thing, and sometimes they play alongside each other and all that. But I mean, if Wood gets an opportunity, he could annihilate this team. Like I see a chance for some overs on the Houston side. They have the highest team total on the board. Houston Rockets, the worst team in all of basketball record wise, the highest team total on the slate. Again, if they let Porter get loose, if they let Wood do his thing, he could just smash this team. They do have
Wood's line sitting at 18.5. He's projected to close to 20. Şengün sitting at 10.5. I don't know what we project for.
It's just hard to. You never really know. You would think they would want to get him some more minutes for what it's worth. And he's looked good of late in his minutes.
Yeah.
They might sit Wood one of these nights and just let it be a Şengün night.
Yeah, I know. I'm the proud owner of a Şengün Challenge Reward Top Shot.
Are you? Did you get a pack?
Only 2,300. You didn't get a pack?
No, I was in line for both of them, and I got shut out both times.
Oh, yeah. No, I didn't get a pack, but there was a challenge, and Şengün was the top one. Had to pay $100 for a Theo Maldon.
Is that the worst?
Yeah, I mean,
and what is Theo Maldon today? Like $5 with $10, $20, or whatever it is.
I mean, I have so many rookie top shots right now. It's ridiculous. I assume that those are going to be the ones that might be worth something. But yeah, Wood looking at his outing 12-39, 12-32, 18-8. Like he's been all over the place. But if he's going to get when he gets 30 minutes a run, he crushes. And this could be a spot. I don't hate that bet.
I think he's going to be. I think he's going to be good. By the way, for the record, I think Şengün's going to be pretty good. I was just going to comp him like to Sabonis or something. I hate doing that. Like, Euro. Yeah, I don't like doing that. That's where my brain went for some reason. But yeah, I think he's only 19. Like it's not Jason Tatum. 19. He's a legit 19. So
as you always know, what players are 19.
This is very important.
Yeah, well, you got to know if they're able to go out drinking it when they get up to Canada. It's
when it's their birthday, and that's a good segue, by the way. Kyle Lowry, it's his birthday tonight, turning 36. Old. Oof.
He is old.
Yeah, but man, my Heat
love that guy.
Rough around the edges right now. Yeah, he's got the most out of his body. Like that dude. A lot of effort, a lot of charges. He took a charge in the All-Star game. Remember that?
Classic.
Nobody ever takes he took a charge. Well, we got to wrap this up.
Yeah, let's move on to the last game. We got Philly versus the Clippers. I got a few bets here. I mean, obviously, we got news that Jackson's going to be limited to around 32 minutes the rest of the season. Batum going to be limited to 19 minutes. But I still ended up betting the Batum, and Paul George might be back sometime soon. Apparently, he's practicing now, but it's Clippers. Who the heck knows?
He was shooting Batum. I got jump shots, and they left him 17-foot jumpers like he could shoot, not 18, not 19, but 17-foot jumpers. But
Batum, I got over 3.5 rebounds. I don't love it, but sitting at plus 115, he's got 5, 1, 4, and 4. So he's hit this in 3 of the last 4 games, and then Ivan Bede over 1.5 blocks. Getting at plus 185. It should be closer to plus 140. He's hit it in 2 of his last 5 games, which isn't great, but I think he had 3 blocks in the last one. So I don't think that's a bad one going up against the Clippers. I don't really have anything else outside of that. I mean, you could obviously Embiid over on points. Let's see what we have projected at. I mean, I'm never going to argue with that.
Do you think Ty Lue's a liar, by the way? Because I mean, I actually believe this minute thing. I think it's real.
Yeah. Why would I not? He would literally. The Clippers do such weird things with the rotation at all. If 32 is on the high end, and he just decides to play like 24 minutes for Reggie Jackson each. I don't know. Like they're pretty much locked into the playing game. Like they're the 8th seed right now.
They're locked in the 8th spot. Yeah, that's not. They're not
Yeah.
budgeting there. Basic. I mean, whatever. Something could go like.
I mean,
no,
Pelicans
yeah.
can technically catch them. Lakers can technically catch them. It's unlikely though.
The Lakers got to win 5 games. The Clippers got to lose every game. Like that's not happening. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
So,
happening.
yeah, most likely they're locked in. So there's no real reason. They have 5, 6, 7, 8 games to go. So they'd have to lose 5 more games than the Pelicans or the Lakers. So I don't see that happening. Do you have any bets in this game?
I guess just as a general thought, I know the number's low, but I feel uncomfortable betting overs on Batum because like they gave him 19 minutes, 19 like, and I kind of believe. I mean, again, it might get to 20, maybe it's 21, but like I don't think it's going beyond that. So
yeah, Aaron asking in chat if Eubanks over 1.5 assists is good at -190. No, don't take it -190. Take it at -150. Let's see if it's still over at -150 over on Caesars. Like, I don't know what sports books you have, but sign up for every sports book. Oh yeah, that's moved quite a bit now after I dropped it into Grant's Action Lounge.
Do you want to know what per
36
is for assists?
Huh?
Eubanks per 36 in the season 2.3.
Yeah, so 1.5 is pretty solid.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's playing. He probably plays 30 plus minutes. He played in the blowout the other night. He opens, he closes. There's not a lot of options, right? So he's probably going to play 30 plus minutes no matter what.
Yeah, but I think that should probably do it for the show. Daniel, any last minute thoughts before we get on out of here?
Yeah, I'm gonna hold my movie take, I guess, for next time I come on the show. We gotta you have to pack up and get out, and I don't really have anything to force out. But like again, stay tuned. Join the Discord. Obviously, there will be things that change. There's a lot of moving parts on this slate. As of right now, there's a lot of stuff we can do. At least from my perspective.
Yeah, no, we got up to Phoenix. That's let's see. One more last question. Missed the beginning of the show, and I'm sure you already touched on this. I'm sure, but D Mitchell really chucks up to 3. I see your highest ante for this pick, all in. No, Davion Mitchell's not my favorite pick, and I don't know if I'd fully trust me because Meansy's on the other side of it.
Donovan?
That's not my favorite one. My favorite pick by a large margin is Miles Bridges under 1.5 turnovers at +165. That's my favorite pick.
Yeah, so I put up the scores and odds, and you're talking about Meansy betting over Donovan Mitchell 4.5 threes tonight at +126.
Yeah, and I got the Mitchell under at -120. I think Meansy moved the line a bit, as Meansy does.
You guys move the needle, man.
Yeah, we do. But all right, Dean, thanks for joining me. We'll be back again next week, Monday through Wednesday at least. I'm going to be up in Vegas for my bachelor party on Thursday, Friday, so we'll see.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, we'll see if I end up doing one drunk from the golf course. Maybe I'll have my good friend Daniel hosting the show, and I'll be drunk on a golf course giving out picks and lost wages, as I like to call it.
That's pretty clever.
But yeah, I like to think so. All right, guys. Thanks, Dean. Thanks, guys. We're out of here.